Hi everybody. Busy energy today. I don't know about you. I'm just inviting a few folks and then we're gonna get started. I've been in a zone, let me just tell you. My zone has been work, details, little details that entrepreneurs know that you have to attend to. And sometimes you just can't see them until you get down in it, and then you start working the details some more. Alrighty, so we're going to get started. Thanks for joining. Say hello when you come in the room, because sometimes Facebook does not always sync with who's watching, who's commenting, and so don't assume using this technology that I can see everything. I have to do this technological disclaimer because so many of us have been so accustomed to thinking that our system works the same way somebody else's system works. So, all right, I'm going to get started. I don't know about you, but I've been in this space and this energy now, which feels good, where I'm like really ready to get out and just play, like be out in the sun. And then it's so funny because when I want to get out and be in the sun, I tell myself about all the work that I need to be doing. It's a funny thing with entrepreneurship. So happy summer solstice to all of you. All right, now I got your attention. You got my attention. Yes, I'm sitting on the playground, not in my normal location, my normal recording location, because the sky is a little ominous. Definitely a weather system is brewing, and much love to my people in Mississippi, New Orleans, Alabama, the whole down south corridor that's experiencing tropical system Cindy that they're watching. Much love to my people. I'm actually feeling some raindrops now, so I may have to move. It feels good. It's in my pleasure to come to you from outside. You all know that when I was living in Costa Rica, most of my broadcasts I did outside, and it conditioned me to want to feel the natural sunlight, not just have a studio to record natural light. But some things, being in the U.S., so many things have changed and shifted. Whereas everything was always a vacation-like experience while I was living abroad. Let me make sure I can see you. I got used to broadcasting abroad out, and then my inside, sometimes the technology is challenged. But that doesn't stop anything. So anyway, that being said, hi everybody that's saying hello. Thank you for joining. Thank you for saying something. I'm so excited to just talk to you today because this is the summer solstice. We're at the end of Gemini season. This has been a very active Gemini season for those of us who have been experiencing a lot of mental chatter, a lot of inner conversations that have been coming up during this particular Gemini season. Now, one thing is for certain and two things are for sure. We're always going to have a solstice, a winter solstice, a summer solstice. Some places are having their winter solstice now in other places. So let's just say the solstice for those who listen to the recording. So let me back up. Your feminine energy, this is a very feminine season. Now, Gemini energy and air energy, mercurial energy, tends to be masculine, okay? So even if you're a woman with an air sign, or a woman that's Virgo, or you have it placed anywhere in your chart, you were going to feel the energy of this particular season that we were just in. We experienced 3 super new moons. Well, we're getting ready to experience the third. This third one is going to be more intense because it's preparing us to go into the Lion's Gate. Last year we had a Lion's Gate that happened to be to produce the series 999. That was the ending of one season and us going into another season. Now let me tell you something. Your church, if this is all new to you, your church, your history, if you will, it's all being discussed. Sometimes it's being called by other names. So I'm using the calendar and the season. Let me tell you, this is not new stuff. When I would spend time with my grandmother would teach me about using the almanac. I had no idea that my grandmother was teaching me to pay attention to the seasons and to cycles. Because as women, we are secular beings. I just shared this, taught this a few minutes ago in the Amplify 30. It's important for us to know that we are secular beings because some of us are experiencing things that we cannot understand. What happens a lot of times is when we start to experience anything that makes us uncomfortable, triggers our issues, activates some type of memory or trauma, we tend to think that something is wrong. Now, with this being a very feminine corridor, why is it a feminine corridor? Okay, so it came out of Gemini. We're getting ready to go into Cancer. Okay, Cancer is a nurturing energy. It is about how you nurture yourself, mind, body, and spirit, but it's also the energy of home. So any issues around your home life, any of your mothering, any type of mothering issues, mama issues, your own mothering will come up. However, it's also an optimal time to take good care of yourself, to declare, to plant seeds, to start setting up the end of the year. This is an awesome time to put into action because off of that Gemini energy, this particular season was about, I didn't mean to get so astrological, but I want us to understand the season because I have been getting so much feedback about people who are feeling overwhelmed, who are feeling emotional, who are feeling super turned on and what to do about it because they're ready to jump on almost anything. That's a bit of an exaggeration just to make you laugh. But that being said, Gemini, this particular Gemini time frame with Saturn being in retrograde was also bringing up stuff for us to be able to look at. So sometimes people are saying, well, I thought I was done with that. Well, here's the thing about the feminine. The feminine energy will, people sometimes associate, even women, associate the feminine with something that's weak. The feminine still sometimes, even in a woman's mind, is programmed as something that is weak. So until we clear that out of us, however you choose to, whether you choose to do transformational work or whether your core is so strong that you just make a decision, okay? Whatever the case is, until you clear that out, sometimes we will resist the feminine. We will resist it. We will push it back. We will push it away. So many people are saying that they are overwhelmed because we already are in survival mode or empty in the first place. I love working with women when it comes, like we are doing in this 30-day process, because I made this 30-day process so simple that it will trigger people who like shit to be complicated, who are used to complicating things, making it hard, or have unmet needs of being cared for. When you have an unmet need of being nurtured by the mother energy, it will continuously show up in your life until you build the muscle to nurture yourself in a way. I love Carol coming in saying hello to everyone. Until you build the muscle, it will feel like resentment or burden when you have to show up for yourself. Because when you've had a strained relationship with your feminine, first through your mother or early in your life, everything that is feminine gets filtered through that experience. Now, that is called an under-nurtured feminine, okay? On the flip side, some of us have a over-nurtured feminine, where we have been coddled and beyond the point of nurture, meaning we have been handicapped from the ability to believe, trust in the feminine. Hi, how are you, beloved? Hola, ¿cómo está? Muy bien. Sí. When you have had an over-nurtured feminine, sometimes it affects how you are able to show up and put your plans into action. Now, in both matters, there is also this thing of taking ourselves too seriously. So when it comes to how we move through a discomfort, and when I talk about a discomfort, listen, some of you say that, I know we talk about wanting to be millionaires. We talk about wanting to attract a certain kind of love experience. We talk about what it is that we desire to create. But when it's time for us, a lot of times, to show up for ourselves, it's an inside out game. Inside out game. But when there's resistance, we absolutely can run from the opportunity to enter into her courts with praise and thanksgiving. I say that because when most of us are conditioned to know that that's the beginning of a worship experience, to enter into her courts with praise and thanksgiving. See, when you see something that is out of alignment with your vision, with your desires, with even your prayers, you either are going to respond to it or ignore it or blame somebody for it. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be transparent with you. A lot of times, as a helping professional, and we talk about this, sometimes we have to create some healthy boundaries, because as much as we love women, sometimes, and we stand for our sisters, sometimes the wall of resistance is so thick to yourself, to what you declared that you want to experience, to be, to do, or to have, that it will show up in disguises. The disguises are, we talked about in overcoming the temptation to quit, what some of those disguises are. Many of you were like, ouch, amen, ooh, 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 that's me, that's me. So we've gotten real good at being able to identify the issue. But when we see the issue, oftentimes there's a judgment of it, and we also cannot see our automatic responses. I was so tempted to title this The Temptation to Quit, Overcoming the Temptation to Quit Part 2. Because that one transparent moment of surrender, of teaching from my place of revelation, opened up so much for some of you. Some of you are still talking about it, and that's good. I mean, it's not a bad thing. But literally, keep going wasn't enough for some of you. Responding and saying, I'm all in, wasn't enough for some of you. You wanted more or you wanted less. It wasn't enough. It wasn't good enough. And so sometimes when we're out here in the world working with our progressive leading ladies who are making things happen for other people on other people's jobs, when you remove yourself from certain energies, you have a chance to nurture yourself. You have a chance to attend to matters of the heart, mind, and spirit in a way that I assure you that the only reason why some of you may not be where you want to be in understanding your feminine, nurturing your feminine, putting your feminine into action is simply because you just haven't had the time and space to do it, because many of you are still on survival mode. What do I mean by that? A job will keep you on survival mode. It will keep you in, and what I mean by survival mode is many of us are only thinking about how we can pay bills, how we can get out of debt, how we can have great orgasms, how we can manifest the house, the car, the money, the man. That's all, like, that gets our attention. Because many of us, we know how to pay the bills. We know how to hustle. We know how to do whatever it is we need to do. Black women have that on lock. Latina women have that on lock, on doing whatever we need to do to take care of things. In fact, we're more familiar with the struggle. Now, that's not a bad thing if that's where you want to stay. I'm not here to convince anybody today. If you want to stay in survival mode, by all means, it's enough opportunity to do that, to be normal. Normal is that. But here's what survival mode does. Survival mode constantly keeps you in automatic response. I'm still talking about the feminine. Survival mode keeps you in automatic response emotionally. Some of us have not matured emotionally, and so we're quick to go off, quick to state our irritation and annoyance with someone or something, when that really isn't the thing that really is annoying you. That really isn't the thing that's causing you to be set off. Some of survival mode will keep you manipulating your household, the people in your household, and the people around you not to get too close to you because you're sensitive. Some of us are empaths and we're super sensitive. Yet, we've taken care of our sensitivity by being bitchy, by being whining, complaining, attacking, blaming. Many of you have no problem attracting a man. Come on now, talk to me in the comments. Come on now, sisters. There's some beautiful women in here. Talk to me. If you have a problem attracting a man, send me an inbox. I can help you. But I'm talking to the ones who don't have a problem. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Yes or amen? Amen or ouch? What? Talk back to me. I got to get a haircut. Don't judge me. Yes? Okay, at least there's one sister, okay, two sisters who know they don't have a problem attracting a man. Some of you don't have a problem attracting money. And certainly you don't have any problem being on your mission, whatever your mission is. But what happens when it comes to us? Do we push it away? Do we repel it? Do we start arguing with it, questioning it, doubting it? Is that how our feminine has been taught to be on automatic response? Because see, if you have not cleared away the tape of all men are dogs, money don't come easy, then you will operate in your mission on automatic. Come on now, come on. I want to talk to y'all a minute. Fireside chat. You will still be a woman on your mission, but how you go about acquiring and accomplishing your mission, sometimes we go so hard that we forget that we're women. And then when we finally realize that we're women, and that doesn't mean weakness. That doesn't mean that somebody's supposed to come save you, a Prince Charming, a knight in shining armor. Because some of us are grown women who are still waiting on a knight in shining armor. That's how we have conditioned ourselves to believe that the feminine is supposed to operate. Or we over exaggerate it and we won't let anybody take care of us or tell us anything. Okay? I'm going somewhere. Third part. So now, survival mode being on automatic. Automatic survival mode also sounds like I'm busy. I'm busy. Can you resend that to me? I'm busy. I don't have time to be doing all that. I want to do this process. I want to do this program, but I ain't got time to be doing all that. I want to lose this weight, but I got to take out all that. I got to do that. A lot of times the thing that we are looking to attract and to create requires something of us. It doesn't have to be hard. Even pleasure requires something. Pleasure requires that you got to do something for yourself consistently over and over again. So I'll give you another example. When it comes to pleasure, a lot of times when a woman has been neglecting herself and under-nurturing her feminine, she will think that going to get her nails done, only, sipping on that big old bottle of wine that she uses to put herself to sleep, to medicate herself from feeling the thing that she doesn't want to feel or face, then you'll think that's normal. I love that pampering is good, but pampering is actually standard self-care for a goddess. Pampering is standard self-care for a goddess. So therefore, when you take care of yourself, you're not doing anything extra. That means you got to stretch a little bit and do something outside of your comfort zone to invite the level of pleasure that you want in. Maintenance is not necessarily pleasure. Maintenance is a requirement. So if you've been a woman that's been neglecting yourself, going and get your nails done, going to get your toes done, going to get your eyebrows done, going to get your hair done, that's normal. That's what you're supposed to do as a woman. But pleasure takes you into something that opens up a place in you where you may have to stretch, but you won't struggle and strain. Come on now. You may stretch, but some of us resent the stretch. We resent asking for what we desire. We resent that when things don't show up the way we want them to show up. And so there's the over nurture feminine sometimes is the little girl thing. The little girl thing that has a temper tantrum when she doesn't get her way. Now let me say this to you. This is what Spirit revealed to me a while ago. Last week, I was having a rough communication day, still in Gemini. Boundaries were being crossed. And I was checking myself. I always go within first. How am I attracting this? What energy am I bringing? How did I contribute to this? What's my lesson? Before I go all the way off. Because if I go off, I'm off. Even if I go off in private, I'm off. That's why they call it going off. And I had to check in and I said, wow. I was doing some work, some study, going deep into the feminine. And Spirit said to me, some of us, whether you have an under-nurtured or over-nurtured feminine, but particularly those of you who have an under-nurtured feminine, some of us meditated, said little things like this. I call it a meditation. I can't wait to get up out of here. I can't wait to get out of my mama's house. I'm tired of her telling me what to do. I don't like the way I just can't wait. So there, for many of you, there was a rush. For many of us, there was a rush to be grown. Come on now, talk to me. Talk to me. Am I walking down your street? We couldn't wait to be grown, because being grown was an escape from grown people, from authority. What we were saying was, I can't wait to get out of here, have my own. I can't wait. I can't wait. And now that you're grown, many of you resent that. You resent that you are so grown that you have had to carry it so long by yourself. That there is a rebellious nature. There is a resistance that comes up and rises up. Now listen, I'm talking about the shadow stuff today, okay? Look, y'all can go anywhere to get your love, light, frilly, fluffy, and I do that. I do that. But this is a supplement. Supplement like a supper. When you come work with Latanya, you come in to get some food that you can eat and you can feel like your belly full. Not some stuff that you go eat and then before you know it, you hungry again. If you choose to embark on the journey. This speaks to the season that we're in. Today is a summer solstice day. We're in the season of the solstice, by the way, which you can leverage. For those of you who are in the 30-day process, for those of you who are working a vision, who are planting seeds, who are doing rituals, who are praying, this is the time where you want to do that more. You want to, when I talk about nurturing your feminine, I'm talking about working with the invisible that will show up as the visible. See, the invisible will show up whether you are healthy or unhealthy. So you may as well get healthy so that you can stop manifesting the visible rebellion, resistance, reluctance, lack, the breakdown in communication, the being taken advantage of. You may as well manifest what it is that you can see with this eye, because this is the real eye. These eyes, when we rely on, see, pleasure is good to activate something. Pleasure activates something. And so when you work with the 5 senses, you must give yourself permission. Giving yourself permission without judgment, without shame, without guilt is the beginning of inviting not another spirit, but another one of your desires, because you raise your vibration. And so your vision will pull you forward when you cannot see. Come on now, that's what I said is, your vision will pull you forward when you cannot see. But many of us don't have a vision. We are only focusing on what we can see. And what we can see has been filtered, particularly in the feminine. It strains our relationship with ourselves. It restrains our relationship with other women, and it strains our relationship with men. On the other side of that is what I call juicy. Let me tell you something. Our self-righteousness, our arrogance, our so-called busyness in the name of, I'm building my business, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm do. And the more you do, the more shit you have. The feminine invites you into being. And so the beingness, how we be, the energy that we bring into a room, and listen, social media is not the place for you to get lazy about monitoring your energy. I am at the point almost of shutting down Messenger on my phone, like shutting it down, because I'm busy throughout the day. And so for Facebook, for me, for my mind, it's work. Some of you all use it as text messaging and all of that. And we don't know how people are using platforms. But there's so much assuming energy. Assuming energy consumes. And so when you assume that someone is saying what they're not saying. You want to debate just to debate. That stuff will take you right out of your pleasure zone. I'm on Facebook a lot of times working, not playing. I get off Facebook to go play. I go do something else to play. And that's why when I come to you, I am demonstrating a feminine business model, because there was a time in my life where I sat in a cubicle, or I sat in my nice little office and I drove my luxury vehicle and I went to my big house on the hill. I did. I had all of that. And I thought about all the days that I wanted to be doing this, that I wanted to be living in my vision, teaching, breaking it down, unpacking it, dressing it up, playing, inviting. I saw my vision. My vision spoke to me all the time, but I wasn't available to it. So I'm saying to you, sisters, don't beat yourself up, but stop kicking everybody else's ass too. Everybody is not here to hurt you or to harm you when you are learning how to. First of all, there's unlearning, there's relearning, and then there is the learning line. Unlearning is uncomfortable. You got to shake off the stuff that you have considered to be the normal case because you've accepted extraordinary womanhood. There's relearning. Some of you who have had an under-nurtured feminine because of whatever limits your mother had or availability your mother had, that means you have to learn you have to teach yourself how to communicate with your womanhood in a different way, outside of what the church has told you about you, outside of what culture has told you about you, outside of what your man has told you about you. And then when you read, but do it in a spirit of curiosity. These things don't have to be burdens. The reason why it feels like overwhelm and it feels so heavy is because you're still carrying something else that you hadn't let go of. That's why you keep on, I can't do it. I hit a wall. I hit walls, but my tools won't let me stay there. I hit. And look, a part of learning how to walk is you gotta fall. Y'all got babies. Did you condemn the baby when the baby fell down? When a part of learning how to walk is to fall. A part of being an athlete, being athletic, is being willing. Listen, yoga is teaching me that in this 30-day process. Learning how to do these balances and poses. Just because I'm walking around here every day and I look like all juicy and things like you, just like my sisters. I didn't know how unbalanced I was internally until I got on the mat. But until I get on the mat, I can't hear what my inner conversations are. Until I go to the gym or until I get in a relationship. Everything is concept until I get in it, until I get the husband. Because see, y'all pray for husbands, y'all pray for marriages, but then when your issues show up in the marriage, you ready to say, he ain't good for me. But damn, it's just another pair of pants. You can keep on changing out your pair of pants, but the issue is going to keep on showing up. You have the power to shift that. So unlearning, relearning, and then the learning line. Give yourself permission to learn, to grow. There's a margin of sometimes you're going to make mistakes. Forgive yourself and get back in the game. Leverage these seasons. This is a season right now. This is a season. The summertime is not just a time for you to be distracted so that you don't get any closer to the vision that you had last year or 2 years ago. The summertime is more than just a time for cookout barbecues and bathing suits. That's good though. You need to have some of that, a lot of that. This summer solstice in particular is solstice. Let me back up. The solstice is the longest day of the year where the dark and the light meet each other. We're coming into the Cancerian energy. So therefore, a lot of your needs are going to begin to speak on the inside of you. You're going to feel the need to want to be nurtured, cuddled, because that's what Cancer does. Now you can pay attention to it and accept the invitation of the goddess to learn more about her, which is you. You have many faces of the goddess. And it's not all feminine. There is a mother. There's a very nurturing mother energy that this particular solstice represents. She's called the Black Lilith Moon. The Black Lilith Moon. She is not one that you can project and blame and put your irresponsibilities or responsibilities onto. That energy, there are mothers who did nurture us the best way that they knew how, but they were no nonsense. Now, I'm not talking about criticism. I'm not talking about abusive energy. I'm not talking about some of the mental stuff that we have to clear out from the under-nurtured feminine. I'm talking about there are women who are there to be able to stand in the gap for you to be able to respond to your life. Those women are not always so affirmative. They are not always even so affectionate. That's what this energy is that we're in, the Black Lilith Moon. You'll feel your needs, but you are responsible for filling your needs. And when you make other people responsible, it's a lot of times your resistance, reluctance, and rebellion. A lot of reasons why many of you are us, because I am not exempt. Be very clear. Be very clear. How many times I wanted to give the call, this particular call, back. God, you called me to this. Can I give it back? I can't tell you how many times I've wanted to give it back when y'all have gotten attitudes with me, when I just wanted to step into a space to tell the truth where so many lies around women and womanhood and femininity has been told. Fear, my own fear. I'm not exempt. I'm telling you what I have to do every day. Every day. I look at it as an opportunity to do something different. This particular season, though, I am leveraging this energy. Last year, when we had that shift, we moved out, that Lion's Gate moved us into a very high quantum energy. A quantum energy, a high vibrational quantum energy, where certain things are going to manifest quickly. That's why cleaning up our energetic fields, the invitation may come at different points. For some, it may come in their diet. For others, it may come in their marriage. For some, it may come in your money. For others, it may come from the work you're doing, or entrepreneurship, or a project, or your children. Okay? The invitation, the goddess, the feminine, your desires are always inviting you to answer another call. But the arrogance, the defensiveness, the closed offness, the fear of being found out, some of you don't show up because you are so afraid that if they find out how much I'm struggling, or if they find out how much I've had to cry at night, if they found me out that I don't do everything that I might teach or preach, if they found out, what will they think of me? So a lot of times, a lot of people don't stay the course. I am inviting you to leverage this feminine energy. Ask questions about it, play with it, explore it. Let your skin breathe, let your mind breathe. Like literally integrate your mind, your body, and your spirit, so that vibrationally you can raise the energy and what it is that you want to attract. Instead of doing this to it, you're doing this to it. It's coming, you're sucking it in. You're a vacuum. You become a vacuum for what it is that you desire, rather than pushing and pulling. Pushing and pulling. So I'm going to stop now. Are there any questions, my loves? I want to see what your comments are. I'm sorry with the glasses on and off, but I don't have the best light with the sun going up and down. I'm going to see what you all say. What are you all saying that? Darlene Rice said, why is this? Why do we push against our feminine? I think is what you were asking. You got to see the beginning of the video. Glad that you appreciate the nugget on pampering. Vivian. Yes, pleasure does require stretch. I talked about how pleasure requires discipline on one of the videos. Okay. Paradigm shift. Yes, we experienced another paradigm shift last year, and there are many that are still happening. This super new moon is a big one. So listen, the benefit and the beauty of being secular women, where we're always going through a cycle, is any moment can be the moment for you to adjust, to recreate. So listen, check your thoughts, check your reactions, your automatic responses to people, places, and things. Okay? I'm looking. Yes, catch the broadcast from the beginning so that you'll have context. I'm a teacher, so sometimes I do take a little time to unpack it so that you can fully understand it and walk away with something valuable every time we come in contact. Araceli said, oh, okay, yes. How am I operating? Am I on automatic reaction? Yay, I love it when somebody has an aha. Okay. Up my game. Pampering is a standard. Yes, yes, pampering is a standard. Pleasure is an indulgence for yourself. Yes, it's the intention to feel good. Now, what that means is that pleasure will start with the feel good, but there's a point where you are not always going to feel good. You're actually going to have to surrender when it doesn't feel good. It doesn't mean that it's bad. It means that it's transitioning. It's like the orgasm. In your orgasm, you have peaks and valleys. Come on now. So the feminine has peaks and valleys, just like your orgasm. But many times, instead of us finding value in the valley, like my teacher, Ian Levanzant, teaches, we start to criticize the valley. When we're in a valley moment, a valley minute, a valley day, a valley month, a valley whatever, we tend to think that something is wrong, and we start to attack the valley. Pull back. Whatever our automatic response is, fight or flight, blame or guilt, shame or guilt, whatever the case may be. Y'all with me? Does that make sense? I'm trying to interrupt a little bit here so that you can accept the invitation to your purpose, pleasure, and passion, to your feminine power. But sometimes we can't get into the deep stuff. First of all, I'm not going to get into the deep stuff on a supplemental. That'll be a specialized workshop, which I have many coming up. Y'all know I'm starting the summer school. The little program that I did last year was such a hit, where I'm doing these small supplementals month by month. I'll be announcing next month's supplemental very soon. Okay, Sandra said you are on my street. Good to see you, sweetheart. Okay, Tanya said you are on my street and at the door. Okay, yeah. What about that piece about rushing to be grown? Come on now. Yes, your vision will pull you forward when you cannot see. Yes. Assuming energy consumes. Yes. Unlearning. Okay, any questions? Any questions, my loves? No questions? Yes, I'm sweating and I love it. Somebody said, I saw you wiping your face on the video. Are you okay? Yes, I am okay. I'm sweating. Y'all know I love the sun and being outside. If I had my druthers, we would have been on the beach. The beach is a great place to go if you work for yourself. Try to get near some air, water, energy. You might not have any other choice with all of the rain systems that are happening right now. All right, good. Looks like you all don't have any other questions. Araceli said, I do that. I pull back. Yeah, when you're on automatic and you pull back, you fight, you flee, you resist, you attack, you get smart with people, you get nasty, you get snappy for no reason. Something inside is out of balance. I don't care how much some of y'all irritate me. I know what my role is. I know it's not you. I know that's not you who's responding like that. That's not the real you. That's your representative that's showing up. And some of you are so used to your representative showing up that when somebody can see you, it scares the hell out of you. And when I'm talking about see you, I mean see the beauty, the majesty, the mission, the manna that's on your life. And if I've been working with you, I can see you. A lot of times I can see your spirit before I meet you in person. That's my gift. Okay. Now listen, before Araceli says, how can we prepare for this supermoon? I'm going to do a separate recording on that because we're not quite yet at the supermoon. You got to be where you are. Where you are is in the solstice. So this is this solstice energy. I forgot to say this and I didn't want to make the video this long. Darn it. The solstice energy is all about the heart. That's why I laid into matters of the heart so much in this video. Because the sun and the heart go together. When people hear the heart, a lot of times they are thinking about mushiness. No. The heart, think about the lion. Okay? The heart is the lion. My battery is low. I'm going to have to go really quickly. So when you think about it, think about the lion. It's about your courage. So this is the time where you want to get out in this energy. That's the ritual. Put sun fruits on your altar, sunflowers, wear sun colors. Go out and get in this energy. It's a very active energy. I'll post some more suggestions later. How can we prepare for the supermoon? I will do a video how to prepare for the supermoon. Okay? That's my promise and my commitment to you. I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. I gotta run because my battery is low. It's time for me to recharge mind, body, and spirit. Ciao, everyone.